Joining me in studio today is political analyst Mohammad Nordien. Thank you so much, sir, for coming into studio today.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. I'm honored.
First things first, what do you make of the constant changes in leadership when it comes to the City of Joburg and the mayoral committee?
Thank you for having me. I think it's healthy for democracy. You know, at the micro level, as a citizen who experiences this, we definitely find it frustrating. But it's very healthy for democracy, and it's important for democracy that all the political role players are constantly kept in check. It's also important then for the voting population, you know, to probably take more cognizance of the power and the impact of their vote. So when the next election comes, you know, we are the voting population need to take into cognizance that the instability we have, and most of one of the main reasons we have the instability is that no political party won a majority 50+1 or 50+, and that's why we have this constant horse trading happening between political parties. It is frustrating. It is difficult for the citizens of Johannesburg, but I think it is necessary in the process of developing democracy. We are a relatively new democracy with very interesting organs of state, meaning the municipal, provincial, and national, which were put in place to create this tension, you know, so that say, for example, if you have a political party at the top, if they automatically had control by one vote of all spheres of government, you would not have this tension. And this tension between political parties at the municipal level, of course, means that everyone has to be kept in check. And hopefully this, as I said again, you know, in turn results in the voting population keeping the political parties in check, coming out to vote those who they don't want, or voting out the ones they don't want, voting in the ones they want, because that's the only way you would eventually then lead to more. That's the only process that would lead to more stability within the mayoral committee.
You've somewhat kind of alluded into my next question, which is how do such things actually affect the city and its residents, particularly when it comes to issues of development in terms of service delivery? When all of this is actually looked at, how are we as Joburg residents actually affected?
So there's two parts for it. I mean, theoretically, you would hope that when the next political party or the next leadership comes in, they would improve on what the leadership before them did. That is in theory. But what we find is it's just more delays in the execution of plans, more delays in the confirming of budgets, more delays in developing comprehensive strategies, and sometimes, and of course, new leadership comes in and they have their own strategy and they have their own priorities which they identify. And so it leads to delay in execution of developmental programs in the city, keeping in mind that the city already has many challenges. You know, we have the national challenges, such as ESCOM, which of course then has an impact at the local level. We have national challenges which relate to safety and security. We have national challenges which relate to unemployment, etc. And so at the local level, local politicians and local political leadership try to adapt their program to respond to these challenges. And we have challenges within our own city, you know, our municipal roads, our municipal infrastructure, our safety at the municipal level, JMPD and so forth. So it makes it very difficult. And I mean, all you need to do is just go to social media and you see the frustration of citizens on all sides of the political divide and political support basis.
Speaking of which, the new MMCs were sworn in today. Do you think that the committee and the mayor itself have what it takes to actually stand up against these challenges and actually change everything that has been like hovering like a black cloud over Joburg?
I think that, you know, these are politicians. They've been in the game long enough. And they are made up of numerous parties. So one would hope that even within the coalition, you know, it's not one political party that's leading the process. It's a coalition of political parties, and one would therefore hope that between these political parties in leadership, they would be able to keep each other in check. Um, and it comes back to the previous issue. It takes some time for one leadership and to rectify or to improve or to modify or to start a new political program. And that definitely will take time, and there definitely will be delays. And I can promise you the citizens of Johannesburg will be more frustrated because there is already backlog on municipal infrastructure, especially within the power sector, the water infrastructure, and the instability over the last year and a half has just caused more delays and more pressures. So every new political leadership has more pressure, because there's the new expectations and the failures of the old previous political parties. So there's a lot of pressure on them. I think they're relatively capable, they should be given a chance. And let's see. But there's also, of course, the reality that there could be a new political leadership within the next few months. So you look at everything within that context, and then you have to be realistic and say, how much can any political leadership fulfill if you have governments changing every 6 months, every 8 months, or less than that?
Mm-hmm. And then finally, do you think that coalition governance is the future of especially local politics? And is it really effective? I mean, you're getting all these voices from so many different people. And of course, there has to be that one person who has to take accountability, such as the mayor. But is it really effective? Does it really work for us within local municipality?
On the onset, we said that South Africa is a developing democracy, a new democracy. If you look at other democracies around the world, so we're relatively new. And therefore, the issue of coalition governments at a level like we've seen in Johannesburg at the moment, it hasn't existed before. And so this is probably or definitely a taste of things to come, in that political parties have to develop new strategies and have to respond in terms of how they maneuver politically to absorb, coerce, convince other political parties to join them. They also now need to learn how to communicate effectively to their voter base, to say, we're going to promise you 10 things, but we might join with another political party and we might have to give up 5 of the 10 promises we made to accommodate that. These promises with the other political party might be, at some level, might be the antithesis to what we stand for, or might not, etc. And so, political parties are going through a new learning now, and so that is also very healthy. This is potentially a taste of things to come when we have elections, our next 2024, when we have our next presidential elections, 2024, where there is a possibility that we might have coalitions at the national government level. But as far as the ruling party, the ANC, has entered people from opposition parties in the government. At the moment, we have Patricia de Lille from Good Party, who's a Minister of Public Enterprises, if I'm not mistaken. So that's actually, I think that's a very interesting ANC experiment. I don't think it was random. I believe it was a very deliberate ANC experiment to see what does it look like if we bring someone from a smaller party at the national level. And I know we're jumping to national politics, but and I think it's an important experiment, because what happens in 2024 when there are a bunch of political parties, your UDMs, your Goods, your Al Jamaa, who have one seat, etc. Would they be willing to go into a coalition with the ANC and get portfolios? Would they maybe go with a party that has a smaller majority? So let's say the DA, for an example, tries to form a coalition. What would it look like? And so and unfortunately, the citizens of the municipalities, we are the guinea pigs. We are the ones who are frustrated. And so, no, I believe it's healthy, it's important. It is a learning process that voters and political parties have to go through to mature and develop this democracy. Coalitions are not good or bad by the virtue of them being coalitions. There are coalitions in Israel, there are coalition governments in Europe. Coalitions are not uncommon. But you need to go through a process of development, of learning and understanding and refining your political skills as a political party. And it could potentially work.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.